Hi everyone, welcome to Let's Talk with Teresa Ann. I am your host, Teresa Ann, and I'm so grateful that you are joining me on today's episode. Now, for those of you who know, I started Let's Talk over 2 years ago, and the whole basis was for you to have a sit down time with me with your cup of coffee or hot tea. Well, I kind of got away from that for the past 6 months, and I want to get back to it. Now, here's what's funny is I have an Instagram, let's_talk_studio, and I got inspired by Steve Panate to do this as he is doing it with his viewers on Instagram, and I want to do it with you as well. So make sure you go follow Steve Panate, and you can go watch his Instagram stories and see what I'm talking about. But this is what I would like you to do. Every day as I make my cup of coffee, I'm going to put it on my Instagram story, and I would like you to do the same and tag me in it because your story just might be shared on my story. So with that said, I want to say thank you again for joining me on my show because today is a special one. So with that said, here is what's coming up next. So some of you may remember my interview with twin sisters, Alyssa and Chrissy. Now, I knew them back in high school in 1993, and we reunited in person in 2017. It was so amazing. But about in 2009, 2010, I reconnected with Alyssa via the blog world, and we actually collaborated a few times with inspirational writings. Well, then we lost touch again, and we came back together after this interview, and Alyssa has included me in a couple of projects. Well, one of those projects being this one. Are you ready? Make sure you are ready. This is really exciting. It's this book called Granola Bar Devotionals. Now, if you knew anything about what Alyssa did a few years back, she had a website called Granola Bar Devotionals, in which many writers collaborated, and they would share their inspirational writings with Granola Bar Devotionals. Well, a few years later, Alyssa gets a great idea to actually put it in print. I got to be one of the writers that was included in this devotional. I am so excited to be a part of it. It's a twofold book project. The first part being that every writer has donated their time and energy into this book, and all the proceeds goes to African missions. So the other part to this book is that this book is dedicated to an amazing woman who passed away many years ago, who is really the inspiration behind this book, and her name is Jeannie de la Garza. And her daughter actually writes the foreword in this book, and it's incredibly moving to say the least. So make sure you go to Amazon.com to get your copy. And remember, what's so cool about this book is that it's a daily devotional with 40 different writers that got to be a part of this book. Now, with that said, this is not to replace your time with the Lord, but what it will do is it will stir you wanting more of Him. It's that deep calls to deep. Also go to alyssahopewagner.com, and you can check out all the resources that she has on her website. Well, I want to say thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. And remember, watch my Instagram story and then share your cup of coffee with me on your story. And I just might be able to share it on mine. So remember, this show is all about bold inspiration, revealing God's goodness. Thank you again for joining us on Let's Talk with Teresa Ann, and I'm so grateful that you could share, like, and subscribe to both my YouTube and podcast channels.